Sports Network, the only game in town.
Welcome into Game Night in the Region on the Region Sports Network, streaming live on the internet at regionsports.com, facebook.com/regionsports, and youtube.com/regionsports. We come to you tonight from Chesterton High School as the Region Sports Network presents the Chesterton Trojans taking on the Merrillville Pirates in a DAC Boys Hoops Showdown. I'm Michael Brenner of the play-by-play for this evening's ball game, and joining me with the color analysis, Mr. 70,000 jobs in a matter of 2 years, or whatever the case. I feel like you have a new job every time I see you, Mr. Doug Nelson.
Multifaceted. So, yeah, it's exciting. Week 1 of Duneland Conference play, and we had some good games last night, and we expect the same thing here tonight.
Yeah, you had a DAC matchup last night between Portage and Valparaiso. Portage getting the win last night against the team that many thought would be a really top, or one of those top-tier teams in the DAC. But as you and I were discussing, we think this DAC might be wide open this year in terms of what we are going to see out of conference play.
Yeah, I think we talked about it last night, like you said. There's a lot of parity.
Yeah.
I think it comes down to, just like we mentioned, you protect your home court, win your games at home, and try to get a couple on the road. But, Chesterton, the defending conference champs, and Merrillville, like I mentioned before, is kind of a wild card. We're not real sure yet about Merrillville. I think they've got great talent, and Coach Patton does an amazing job of developing those young guys. But, it's wide open, Mike. It's going to be an exciting season.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's time now for the Jody Geisha Real Estate and Design pregame show, brought to you by Jody Geisha and Design. Selling points for a winning game, and those points that we're talking about here in conference play, you had Lake Central beat LaPorte last night. Crown Point beat Michigan City. You guys had Portage beating Valpo last night. So this is the final conference game to kind of get things going here to start conference play. And this is probably one of the better tilts of all the conference matchups, just because, like you said, Merrillville, kind of a dark horse. We don't know, what to fully expect out of them. They come 5-2 on the season. And one thing that sticks out to me is a little bit that they kind of dropped in terms of they've kind of switched in terms of their scoring. They score more than they did last year. They were averaging about 56.5 points a game. Now they're averaging 63. They were giving up 62 last year. They're giving up 56 this year. So they're making a lot of improvements. I know Coach Patton, I talked to him just before we got on the air. He's really happy with these guys. Yeah, again,
he's always got a talented team. It's a matter of staying healthy. And and chemistry, how that is. That's as important as anything. So, like we talked about, you use your holiday tournaments to try to finally put your pieces together, right? You're seeing who plays well with who, and minutes wise, and touches, and who's going to produce for you. And now, we talked about it. Week 1 of the conference season, and you hope that you kind of rounding that into shape at some point. So. Again, and I think he's got a lot of guys that can play. It's just a matter of who plays well together.
Yeah, we talk about, like, during football season, we kind of say around weeks 5 and 6 is kind of where you kind of know what kind of team you are. By the time you roll the calendar to a new year, you kind of have an identity of what your team is, and it's really kind of like, as you said, after those holiday tournaments. So we're going to really start to see who these teams are and set their identities and what these two teams are made of over the course of the rest of the season. So it'll be fun, because Merrillville's going to be a fun team to watch. But the DAC's got to roll through Chesterton first. As you said, they are the defending conference champions. They went to a state championship last year for the first time in program history. They want to forget the game for the most part because it was a blowout in terms of the final score. But you can't beat the experience of going down there, and that's what they're going to remember for a while.
Oh, sure. And especially, again, that was a tough day. They took it on the chin a little bit.
Yeah.
But a lot of people did against Indianapolis Cathedral, right? They had the third best player in the country, but just great memories, and the experiences, like you said, and carrying over. But one thing that's going to be interesting for me to see, and I've been thinking about, is Travis Grayson's graduated.
Correct.
Right? He's moved on. What did we say? He's at Spring Arbor University. How the importance of a point guard, right? That coach on the floor. So we'll see who steps up and fills that role. It might take a couple people to fill a role as well as Travis did it, but that's something that's going to develop as the season rolls along for Coach Urban.
Yeah, I didn't have a chance to talk to Coach Urban pregame, but I would imagine that he doesn't need one person to stand up and take that role. He doesn't care who it is. As long as somebody every night is stepping up to kind of fill that role, if it's a committee, he's fine with that, I would imagine. So I like that point that you have there about somebody needs to kind of step in, and maybe it's 2 guys in a night filling that role as well. It doesn't have to be one person, but those are big shoes to fill for sure. And I know Coach Urban, 4 straight years now, this will be the 5th time that he's looking for a win against the Merrillville Pirates. He's had 4 in a row. He started off with 2 losses against the Pirates in his first 2 seasons. He's in year number 7 now. So see how this one shapes out. Last time Merrillville has beaten Chesterton in the regular season was back in 2018. Chesterton got the win last year, 76-68. And I have a little trivia for you a little bit later on in the evening about Merrillville going down. They've had 2 state championship appearances, and there was a surprising note that I found about that one. We'll talk about that on the other side of the break. We'll step aside for just a moment. We'll also give you those starting lineups for our ball game as well. You're tuned in to the Jody Geisha Real Estate and Design pregame show here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Did you know?
Wow, they'll prepare fresh fish while you wait.
Did you know?
They make over 40,000 donuts from scratch every week?
Did you know?
They offer 23 different deli platters for your party?
Did you know?
They have freshly chopped fajita mix ready to cook.
Did you know?
They have the best fried chicken in the area?
Did you know?
They offer our signature curbside service 14 hours a day.
Strachan Van Til. Now you know.
Hi, I'm Crowell Company's Lantern Man. You never know when an accident can happen, and they're usually unpredictable. So before you make another move, make sure you and your family have reliable and affordable insurance coverage. Follow me to Crowell Agency. I'll be here late tonight to take care of all of your insurance needs. At Crowell Company's Lantern Man, I'm your insurance superhero. Let Lantern Man illuminate your way to Crowell Agency, open till 9 p.m. for your convenience in Highland, Merrillville, and Michigan City.
From schools to stadiums, hospitals and bridges, everywhere you look, union carpenters are building Indiana. With jobs and skilled trades in high demand, there's never been a better time to start building your future. As an apprentice, you'll earn a debt-free college degree, earn while you learn, and receive great benefits like healthcare and retirement. So what are you waiting for? Visit carpenters.com to learn more. Visit carpenters.com and start building your future today.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Welcome back to Game Night here on the Region Sports Network. You are tuned in to the Jody Geisha Real Estate and Design pregame show. Jody Geisha and Design selling points for a winning game. And somebody's going to win here tonight. They don't do ties in high school basketball. Somebody like that, but they don't do that here. I'm okay with that.
Tie?
Yeah.
That's like the NFL tie. That's pretty discouraging.
Yeah, I don't like that.
You were there for 3.5 hours, and we can walk out with a tie.
I've actually been to an NFL game where there was a tie.
Yeah.
It was Bengals-Panthers back whenever it was. They handed in a tie. I was sitting in the stands for that game.
They should do it the college rule. Just line up and
I'm fine with that.
Keep going until you can't score.
So I said I had a little bit of trivia for you by the time we came back from break. So Merrillville has appeared in 2 state championships, back in 1995, then back in 1978. Combined, I had asked you over the break, combined, how many points do you think they have lost by in those 2 championship games total?
Mm-hmm. And I said 4.
You said 4. The answer is 2. They have lost by a total of 2 points. Back in 95, they lost to Ben Davis 58-57. Back in 78, they lost to Terre Haute South 54-53 in overtime. That is mighty impressive. And from the coaching perspective, I don't know, would you rather lose in a blowout or would you rather lose by 1 point?
Well, that's I was just running that through my head, man. I'm sure Coach had some sleepless nights over those, but
like one little thing that's
just
like
being there.
One
you
free
know, you
throw,
were there.
one layup,
sure.
Just one little
missed
thing.
block out,
right.
Something silly.
Oh man, that has to be tough. But they've been there. They know they have 2 under their belts. Would love to get back there and potentially win one. Chesterton feeling the same this year. They would like to get back and get the W this time. All right, we have our starting lineups we will start to show you. I can tell you that our graphics are not going to be 100% accurate. I believe for the Merrillville side they should be. I haven't seen our graphics per se. There you see the starting lineups there for the Merrillville Pirates. Looks like we got Williams, Weaver, and Brown. Yep, those are the first three that I've seen, and then Peters and Kennedy, and we'll go through those in just a moment as well. That's for the Merrillville Pirates. So Jaden Williams, the junior, Darren Weaver, the senior, Kelvion Brown, the sophomore, Bryce Peters, the freshman, and Robert Kennedy, the sophomore for the Merrillville Pirates. And we're going to get set here for the national anthem. All right, a wonderful rendition of the national anthem from the Chesterton Pep Band. And they're going to start doing the lineups here at Chesterton High School. I'm actually going to ask Zach to put that graphic for Merrillville back up for the starting lineups for the Merrillville Pirates. You'll see the first three there on your screen for the starting lineups for the Merrillville Pirates. We'll also tell you that the Game Night Forecast brought to you by our friends at Economy Electric Heating and Cooling. Tonight's forecast, a very comfortable 30 degrees. I don't know how you can really tell it's cloudy outside in the middle of the night, but they say it's cloudy.
I'll take this for January.
Yeah, of course. I was walking outside the other day. It was 50-something degrees. I'm like, January 2nd, walking around outside 50 degrees, I'll take it. So that is your Game Night Forecast brought to you by Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, keeping you cool in the summer and cozy in the winter. So now they're officially, after doing some reads here in the gym, they're officially going to give you the starting lineups for the Merrillville Pirates. And again, it is Jaden Williams, the junior. You got Darren Weaver, the senior. Kelvion Brown, the sophomore. Bryce Peters, a freshman. And number 23, Robert Kennedy, a sophomore.
Something we talked about, there's not a whole lot of size.
I did talk to Coach Patton about that right before we went on the air, and I'll remind you about that. I'll bring that up in here in just a second as we get ready to bring you the Chesterton starting lineup. Oh, they got the music blaring here at Chesterton High School. Can't beat it. All right. Here is your starting lineup for the Chesterton Trojans, who appeared in the state championship just a season ago. First onto the floor is Tyler Parrish, the junior. Followed by Owen Guest, number 3, the senior. Justin Sims, number 4, a junior. Sean Casper, number 11. That's one of the graphics that's going to be a little bit different. Nick Firminick not in the lineup today. And then George Brahordes, number 22. So they did not get a designation on Nick Frumnick, but they said he is not playing today. So it's Sean Casper who goes into the lineup for the Trojans. Our officials for this one, Jeff Little, Joe Rudolph, and Justin Shippey. As we get set here from Chesterton. Start of conference play for both these schools. We thank you for tuning into the Jody Geisha Real Estate Design pregame show as we are set for the opening tip, and it's controlled by the Merrillville Pirates. They'll come left to right on your screen.
Just starting out in a little man-to-man defense. Coach Urban's always been a blue-collar, in-your-face kind of. He's going to get his guys down in the stance and play hard.
Appreciate the man-to-man call, like Bill Raftery.
Yeah,
Appreciate you.
I'm working on that. He does it differently, enunciates it a little differently. I don't have the guts to do that. Yeah.
Well, I know you got the guts.
I got plenty of that.
Going up and under the Merrillville Pirates, trying to get the first points of the game here. This one turned over right on the out-of-bounds line there. This one given now to Tyler Parrish, the junior on this Chesterton team. Three-point basket is up and good for Owen Guest to get things started for the Trojans.
Good penetration and kick there. Merrillville's got to help him recover, hedge and recover. Can't lose those shooters.
Well, feeding in now. This is Brown with it. Now given up to Peters. Off to Williams. Into the wing for Kennedy. Long-range three-point shot to try to answer. It was no good off the hands of Peters. Rebound comes down. Owen Guest feeding into Parrish. Now into Verhordes. Going off for three here. We got a lot of contact on the three. It goes down, but no foul call there. It was Tyler Parrish who knocked down the three. That's a quick 6 points.
That's one of those flop things. Do you think he flopped?
Yep. Or? I didn't see the full contact as Williams trying to throw one up there.
It's one of those new rules in college basketball. I think they have more and more rules in college basketball.
I feel like, the cylinder calls,
cylinder,
the hook and holds.
It's like a geometry class.
That is not up our alley, by the way.
No.
Trying to feed in underneath the basket here. The give is to Weaver. Weaver was one of those guys that Coach Patton was telling me about. And I said, Coach, who do you want me to recognize in the game? He said, I got to recognize Weaver. He is a team guy all the way. Going out for the three-point basket. It's raining threes inside Chesterton here. That's three in a row. And a 9-0 run for the Trojans. And we're going to have a 30-second timeout. How are you defending that, Coach?
Well, it looks a little. There's some confusion on the defensive end for Merrillville. Looks like some are in zone, some are in man. They're not matched up. So Coach will get them squared away here, and at least everybody get on the same page.
Yeah.
But they look like they're a little hodgepodge, a little mixed up right now on defensive end.
So 6:05 here to go in the opening quarter. But ranging from a lot of three-point baskets. Parrish, Guest, and now Casper. So we just need Sims and we need Verhordes to get a triple. And
Yahtzee. Yahtzee. If you're Coach Patton, you can just say, hey, they can't shoot that hot all night, right? I mean, but they look a little out of sync on the defensive end right now.
And so far, the looks for Merrillville when they've gone to the basket haven't been the best of looks or the best of shots. And we have a travel call here as Weaver gets called for the walk.
Merrillville's going to pick up a little three-quarter court, a little 2-2-1, try to trap the sideline. If you're Chesterton, like you mentioned earlier, you want to keep the ball in the middle.
So they were trying to go to Verhordes in the middle there. This goes to Guest, and now back to Parrish, trying to beat this press here. A lot of pressure here at the half-court line. Now trying to go baseline, kicks it back out. Trying to drive inside the paint, puts it up with the left hand, no good. Trying to get his own rebound, and we go down, and that's not a comfortable fall for Weaver as he drives right onto the basketball here. And the first foul of the game is going to be called on George Verhordes.
If nothing else, what the press does is it speeds up the offense. It gets you to shoot maybe a little quicker than you want. You're not always going to get the steal, but you're going to force them to a shot a little quicker than they want to shoot it.
Kennedy with it now. Trying to find someone to pass it to. This one picked off, read by Parrish all the way. He goes up, trying to meet, and he gets the dunk! Put it on a poster!
Oh, boy. That could be, that's an real early possibility for play of the game. That's pretty nice right there.
Parrish gets the bucket. He'll go to the line. The foul is on Kennedy. And that got this place jumping, and this place was already rocking after the JV game. We had people yelling from all sorts of directions in that game.
Rightfully so. That's about as nice as a and-one dunk as you're going to see.
Can't connect on the three-point play officially. Brown dribbles out of the pressure here. Now to his right, hands off. Williams penetrates, gives off to Weaver. Weaver for the basket, no good. 11-0 run for the Trojans. Little shot fake there into the corner for Guest. Guest with his first miss, and a big rebound coming to the Merrillville Pirates here. It's a 3-on-3 game right at the moment. They're going to call the block against Chesterton, and from my vantage point, that looked like a decent call. Looked like the feet may not have been totally set if you're Parrish. Whereas all the other referees in the stands may disagree.
Yeah, it depends on what team you want, right? You want to win, but that's the hardest call in basketball. But I like the aggressiveness of the Merrillville guard there, going right at him. You know, again, if you're Coach Urban, you couldn't ask for a better start.
Nathan Nix and Cole Snyder have checked into the game for the Trojans. As Williams.
That 2-2-1 again. Your Chesterton use a ball fake.
And this one passed out. Coach Urban not happy.
Use a ball fake and diagonal passes. That's what you use against the three-quarter court press.
So Williams gives off to Weaver. Weaver wants to penetrate, just loses it right there to Snyder, who holds off. And now it's a foul against Weaver. That's a bailout play because Snyder had nowhere to go, had already started to dribble, picked up his dribble.
It's great help side defense there by Snyder. Two hands on the ball like that. That's a great defensive idea.
Well, and if you're Coach Patton, you don't want your guy driving into 4 defenders. That was the first mistake out of that play.
Yeah.
So a foul here away from the ball. And that foul is going to be on Kelvion Brown. And that is the team's 3rd foul. 4:14 to go. Give us to Sims. Parrish for 3. He knocks it down. Parrish having himself a night.
He doesn't need much room to get the ball off, does he? He's got a nice quick release. He catches it with the idea ready to score, and good things happen when you're aggressive.
Leads the way for the Trojans with 21 points per game. Nice feed underneath. It'll be a foul on the block here. So Mitchell will go to the line.
Yeah, he was a little late to help there. That's what happens when you're late. You foul. Good effort. Good idea.
Owen Guest picks up his first foul, team's 3rd. So this will send Keyshawn Mitchell to the line. You talked a little bit about Chesterton. They average 66 points a game. Merrillville 63. As Mitchell knocks down the first. Stay with us after the game as we'll name the Crowell Company's Lantern Man superhero of the game. The Crowell Companies are the insurance superheroes. Two for 2. And I've got 3 for 3 from the line total this evening for the Merrillville Pirates. Is that what you have too?
Yep.
All right.
Looks like a little 2-3 zone now. They backed up. They're going to continue to let these guys shoot from the outside.
Long-range three-point basket for Parrish. He is on fire. That is his 3rd triple of the game. Into the corner. 3-point ball to answer for Roberts.
Yeah, if you're Merrillville, you might want to try to go maybe a man-to-man, at least kind of hedge toward Parrish. He's one of the better shooters here in the region. So you got to know where he's at if you're going to stay in this zone.
Yeah, if he's going to be open on the edges and shoot from the perimeter as Sims spins and puts one home.
His first basket.
And we've got a walk. And those are the early turnovers that you do not need in a game like this. It's already been a nice run for the Chesterton Trojans.
Yeah, they already got 5 threes here in the first quarter. So, again, if you're Coach Patton, just hang in there, weather the storm here a little bit, get some stops.
And we're not even 5 minutes into the game with 6 fouls as well, so things bound to get a little chippy potentially as Parrish goes again, just short on that one. Coming with the rebound, give up, and put to the basket, waiting for the pressure to come through was Peters. Nice move there by the Merrillville. Good ball movement for the Merrillville Pirates there.
Yeah, he did a good job attacking. 2-on-1, make the guy guard you, then give it up. That's a great job by the assist.
Trying to feed down into the post. Sims just right under the basket in no man's land. Wanted a foul, didn't get one. Here comes Williams off the glass. It doesn't go. Might have an argument for a goaltend because there was some contact with the basket. So there might. I don't know. Would you consider that a potential goaltend? I mean, there was some contact. I don't know if that really made a difference on the shot or not.
Yeah, that's got to be really obvious for me to call. You know what I mean? I mean, I don't know what. As high as these guys are getting going up for block shot, I don't know what you expect him to do. You know.
This is why I sit here, and those guys are out there running the floor.
Yep. I'm okay with that.
The foul was on Guest, by the way. Williams for the second attempt.
They're perfect from the line so far, I think. Right?
They have been so far, yep.
Keeping them in the game.
But you can go perfect from the line all you want. You got to answer these threes at some point in a big way. It's a 7-point game at the moment.
You got to get stops.
Snyder in the corner. And now Parrish far away from making any real potential threat action there. Moves there. Into the corner.
When their guards are extended so high, that's what happens is they can come and sneak right behind you like that. Their front 2 guards get extended pretty high. That leaves a pretty big gap there right in the middle where it says DAC.
Right there in the paint, left wide open, going cross court. Snyder going to dribble inside, has a wide open alley to the lane, or to the basket. So Cole Snyder gets in the scoring column there. Still first quarter, 1:38 to go. 3-point on the way, it's no good. Picked up by Nix. Coming down in transition. Cole Snyder.
One more.
Into the corner for a 3. It rattles around. It won't go. That was Casper trying for it. We'll have a foul underneath.
This guy, this might have been the kid I was talking about. We talked about before the game. That Kelvion Brown, he looks like he's a sophomore, strong young man. Looks like he's got a nice future in front of him.
I was asking Coach Patton about that a little bit. He said he did graduate a lot last year as well, so that may have been a kid that you were talking about earlier that graduated. But
yeah, I just remember them having a really big, strong kid inside.
Kelvion Brown is perfect, or I should say is true on that free throw attempt. Stay with us after the game as we'll name the proud Union Home Play of the Game, brought to you by IKOR-CC, the Indiana, Kentucky, Ohio Regional Council of Carpenters. And we may already have our candidate for that one. Still early, though. Plenty of game left.
Yeah, long way to go.
Brown with the first miss, but the rebound comes down to Mitchell, trying to put it back. Sims with the rebound now. So I always got to stay with the play.
I think they are finally going man-to-man here, a little half-court man-to-man.
Trying to pick that one off. Someone's got to come in and help. Then trying to. There was a little bit of a hug on Sims there. Yep. So that's probably going to be against Mitchell, I believe.
Sims does a good job with his feet of sealing.
They're going to call it on Brown.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
He was on the post when he was trying to guard Sims, but Sims was doing a good job of kind of pushing the defense away, and giving him room for that lob pass. And he was just hanging on for dear life there.
They have Sims listed as a 6'6" junior.
He's long, 6'6".
Sims is one of those guys where I feel like he's already been playing for 10 years in high school.
Yeah.
I don't know, just because I've called so many Chesterton games over the years, and I remember him being one of the key factors early on as a freshman as well. So it just feels like he's been around for a long time, and he's only a junior.
Yeah, and he's been a factor in a lot of big games.
Yes, he has.
You know, we've said his name a lot, so he's another guy that's got a really exciting future.
Under a minute to play. 21-13 your score. Chesterton on top. Crowd is electric. We got the pep band here, so that makes it even more fun in high school basketball. Someone trying to pick that one off. It goes out of bounds. Are they going to say it went off of Chesterton? Maybe we try to get Nix to check in here along with Williams. Sean Clemens in the game for Merrillville as well.
Trying to get some guys out. Last 30 seconds of the quarter. Maybe not pick up that silly foul, right?
Correct.
Got some guys and keep them alive here in the first
Owen
half.
Guest for Chesterton will be one of those guys. This one hit by Sims as they were trying to inbound it. So it'll stay Merrillville ball. He'll stay right where he's at.
Not much room there in the sideline. The Chesterton bench really helping him out a whole lot, right? He's hanging on for dear life.
Peters checks back into the game. He'll inbound. It was to Williams in the backcourt. Gonna drive inside. Nice pass. Good go. And he wants a goaltend as well, but the foul is going to be on Nix.
It's good penetration and good feed. Good things will happen if they continue to attack the basket, and we talked about that last night, and attack the basket. Don't live and die on the three-point line.
That's what we were seeing threes raining early in this game, and all of a sudden it's been raining fouls.
Yep. Mitchell
still having a good night from the line.
I was going to say, don't say it now. Don't say it. You jinxed the poor kid.
There's no such thing as the announcer's jinx. What are you talking? You've been doing this long enough. You know there's no such thing.
Okay. I had nothing to do with that.
If you were still coaching baseball, every time your pitcher started a game, I'd say a no-hitter. And of course, he misses the free throw.
Michael
But Brander. You're the one that brought it up.
Well,
you are the one that brought it up.
So who really jinxed it then, right? Is that what you're saying?
But you mentioned the jinx. I didn't.
You said he was perfect.
10 seconds to go here in the opening quarter. Parrish, who's had the hot hand here in this opening quarter. Dishes off. Casper. Now to Sims for three. Almost at the buzzer. Just a little bit strong and too far on that attempt. So 21-14 your score at the end of one. You're watching Game Night in the Region on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Develop skills that will last for a lifetime with an apprenticeship with the Bricklayers and Allied Craft Workers Local 4, Indiana, Kentucky. The apprenticeship and training program is committed to developing highly skilled bricklayers, terrazzo workers, and ceramic tile setters to provide the construction industry with the best hands in the business. If you are currently working non-union and want better pay with benefits, or if you think learning a new skill with a paid apprenticeship while you earn your associate's degree is the right path for you, visit baclocal4.org/training to learn more about the apprenticeship program. Are you built to succeed?
Start or advance your career at T&B Tube Company. At T&B, employees are more than just a number. They are a valuable part of the success of T&B Tube Company and make an impact every day. Located just a short drive away from Chicago, T&B Tube Company offers benefits such as tuition reimbursement and a community-like work atmosphere. To learn more about joining the growing team at T&B Tube Company, visit tbtube.com/careers.
Start of the second quarter here at Chesterton High School. Make sure you stay with us after the game as William the Boilermakers Local 374 blue-collar player of the game. Boilermaker Local 374. Earn what you learn with Boilermakers Local 374.
Easy for you to say, though, Mike.
I got it. You should be impressed. I don't even have the reads in front of me.
That is very impressive.
I always love just throwing things at you every once in a while to make you read.
Don't do that.
I can find one.
Don't do that.
I think we have a halftime report.
It is Saturday.
Read to do for. Are you guys back in session already?
Oh, yeah.
I go back Monday. Parrish looking for someone to pass to.
Trying to go high-low to Sims. He's working down low.
Braharides at the free throw line. Parrish for three again, and it's good.
He does not need much room at all, does he?
No, he does not, and it is an impressive stroke from him. Cross court. Give now to Roberts, who tries to answer and does. He's got a couple triples in this one, and they've come after a big shot from Chesterton, so he's got the answer.
Oh.
This one, turnover here. Roberts going to go to it. Whoa, it's stolen off the backboard.
He pinned it on the backboard.
Unbelievable.
Again, you know what? That's what something we talked about last night. He had a turnover down here, but at least he hustled back.
Yes, he did.
To make a play and be a part of that. That's one of those you're not going to realize how good it was until you see it on video.
Woo.
That was pretty high, too.
Spin move for Roberts and the bucket. The pace of this one is spectacular. The action is spectacular. This is Duneland Athletic Conference basketball. Trying to poke that one away was Mitchell.
Yeah, you see how extended Merrillville gets, though, out of their zone? They're really going for those. That leaves some backdoor stuff and some ball fake, and Chesterton's going to find those holes here later on.
One of the teams that I know I've seen do that in the past is Guest with a big-time three. Munster has done that quite a bit. They would bring their zone quite high in the game or on the floor.
Well, you can do that too if you have the length, like Syracuse. You remember the back in the day?
Yes.
They got long and
yes. As Brown goes to the rim and gets his bucket. Trying to keep within 10 points here. It's a 6-point game now. 6:10 to go.
Oh.
A lot of contact, and you know what? I think I like the no call on that one because there was a push, but then there's a little bit of a block in there as well. So I like the no call. Just kind of give that one away. So we'll have a timeout taken here by Chesterton. I'm going to look here real quick. We were given stats for Chesterton. They shoot 37% from three. They're having a much better night than that so far.
Yeah.
And that's why they're in this game 27-21.
So that's why also, if you're Coach Patton, he just weather this. They can't continue to shoot this hot.
One wouldn't think.
Yeah.
Parrish already with 14 in this one. Guest with 6. Leading the way for the Merrillville Pirates is Jeremiah Roberts. He's got 8.
I'm really enjoying watching off the ball. That Kelvion Brown and Sims matchup inside. There's a lot of contact, a lot of holding, and they're letting it go a little bit, but Brown is really working hard down there.
Sims waits on the elbow, another long pass out. A lot of contact there as Casper got the inbound pass. And this is just strong defense. And, if this was college, as you were mentioning earlier, that might be a little bit of that cylinder violation. A little reach in there from Mitchell. But this is one of the things that I wanted you to remind me of earlier. We talked about, and you and I talked about this as well.
There it is.
A foul inside there, and that's the contact.
Yeah.
That's the matchup you were mentioning. Is that's the third foul on Brown already in this one.
The thing is in post defense, if you show the officials your hands,
correct,
they're going to let you go. But if you're grabbing and holding, it's kind of like that backhand, like in the secondary, for pass interference. It's you got to show the official your hands and work a lot with your feet and give him some space. But Brown's holding, and they were letting him get away with that a lot. I was kind of wondering when they were going to call that.
Well, and from what I've seen with a lot, and you do officiating as well, along with coaching and schooling and all the other stuff that you broadcasting and all the other stuff that you do. I feel like if it's not part of if it doesn't affect the play, they'll kind of let things go a little bit.
Yeah, but there you go.
I mean, because you could call right there on Sims, you could call 3 or 5 seconds in the lane because he was sitting in there for a while, but it wasn't affecting the play until he got it. You know what I mean? That's one of the things you can kind of get away from.
Yeah. Well, we're lucky to have good officials up here, and that, Mike. And
yes.
As long as you can communicate. The guy in the baseline there, he's talking to those post players. Hey, watch your hands, or get out. They're communicating quite a bit. That kind of back and forth helps the flow of the game because you don't want to blow the whistle every time. They didn't come here to watch you blow the whistle all night. So, that communication helps, and the players know what they can get away with.
Well, and you can see on the screen right here at the bottom near the score bug there, the near official was talking to Coach Patton the entire time. That's the thing. If that's what you ask for out of an official, if they're going to be, they can explain things to you. If they will listen to what you have to say as well,
right.
Let them vent. Let the coach vent the frustration, and they can explain themselves. And then you kind of have an understanding of where everybody's at.
Yeah, I'm okay with that, and I I'm okay with refs talking to the kids too.
Absolutely.
You know, they don't want to foul kids out. You know, they're trying to help them out.
I would say, and I haven't watched a whole lot any farther south than the region in a lot of, unless we do, the postseason stuff. But these officials, there's not one that stands out to me as Vahordes gets into the scoring column. There's not an official that to me stands out as a guy that is a me guy.
No, we talked about it, and like you said, I do some lower level officiating.
Mitchell with the jump shot.
And there is a shortage.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's why. And it's a difficult job. It's a thankless job, and we appreciate the guys that have been doing it a long time.
Guest tries to do a long pass, but it goes up here now. And another one-handed jam, this time from Weaver. They're going to make it challenging for you here, Doug, on the proud Union home play of the game as Parrish matching up against Weaver. That's a fun matchup to watch.
That two-handed block was pretty impressive, wasn't it?
A little bit.
That was pretty neat. Just like you could do that when you were younger, right, man?
Debatable.
Yeah.
Parrish dishes out in the corner to Casper. Give him 6 points on the night. Going all the way to the rim, can't knock it down. A lot of contact, no whistle. Owen Guest going down to Sims underneath. Another two-handed jam this time.
I just love the flow of the speed of the game. A lot of action, right?
And one thing that helps that is if you want to call everything, I'll go back to the officials for a second. If you want to call everything, that slows this pace down. But because they're not calling everything, that allows the pace to run at a fun way and get these guys in a rhythm.
Sure.
Nice jump shot from Roberts, off the mark by just a little bit. Parrish looking to drive inside. Still going with that man-to-man that we saw early in the game and now recently here after the zone read.
Sims, oh, wow. There's a lot of contact down there.
On the post as Vahordes, tries to put it up.
You got to replay that. That might be one they would review in college. He went up pretty high with his shoulders and an elbow. He's getting a little frustrated. Guys grabbing onto him. Look, his jersey's all untucked, and he's getting beat up down there. He's doing a good job of remaining composed, though.
Well, I'm sure it's nothing that he hasn't seen already at some point.
Yep.
And you know this, and I'm sure a lot of our listeners know this as well. The AAU-type leagues or the off-season leagues that happen around the region are so intense. And a lot of these guys play all season long, play with each other from different schools. So a lot of these guys know each other, especially when you do get into these situations when school starts. They've played each other since they were in middle school.
Sure.
Going out for a three again. This one rattles around. Trying to get the rebound is Mitchell, and Mitchell knocks it out of bounds. Excuse me, that was DeLosa, excuse me.
The scoring's kind of slowed down this quarter, but they're still getting good looks. Post up.
And there's a lot of contact again, as you were saying. And Sims still can't get it to go, and Urban is kind of beside himself. And we'll have a foul there. That one is that going to be against Davis is the question.
And something we mentioned last year, I think it's going to be interesting. It'll be fun to watch Sims as he grows and put some muscle on. Last night we saw Mason Jones, and he's put on a lot of upper body weight in his back and his shoulders and his chest. And that's what I'm excited to see if Sims puts on some weight and gets that move down there. You know, you kind of play through the contact, right? You don't.
Correct.
You don't bounce off. You go through it and get to the rim, and it's going to be fun to see how he develops and gets stronger down there.
I can tell you from when I saw him a couple years ago, he has gotten significantly taller.
Yeah, good observation there, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's why you're paid the big bucks.
He's 6'6". I think last time I saw him, he was 6'1", 6'2", somewhere in that range. Going for a three-point basket in the corner was Davis.
Like that
Davis
move.
going again. Just can't get it to fall. But you like the drive and the contact, trying to fight through the contact.
I do that, and I do. I like that. But that's the move, and to get to that next level, he's got to finish that. Get the N1. Get that layup, go through him, go hard, and don't let that physicality affect you.
Now, the problem or the question I'm going to ask you is, I have an idea of how you can start working. How do you get that in practice? How can you work on that in practice? Because you can't you don't want to risk the injury and putting a kid up against him constantly.
Well, we've used football pads.
That's what I'm thinking. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anything. Play through the contact.
Yeah, you might have a coach underneath, and we call it just the power layup drill. You put two baskets on the blocks, and guys got to go up, and then we just push with the pads.
Yeah, we had a drill called it was called garbage drill, where they would just go down there and really beat the heck out of each other.
Clemens for the three, it's no good. Sims with the rebound. Sims bringing it up. He's going to go fight for his possession down in the post. Trying to look into the middle off of a little bit of a zone look. Give now is to Peters into the corner for Roberts. Roberts for three again.
Oh.
That might not. That's going to be an interesting count there. Is that going to be counted as a three is the question.
Who shot it?
That was Roberts for three, but there was some contact, and I believe it was from Kennedy with the rim.
Yeah.
And they didn't call that. They called it a two, excuse me.
Wow.
As Raharides goes up, he can't get it to go. They're going to push it up the floor here now are the Pirates. Little jumper on the baseline, no good. Kennedy with the rebound. Clemens off to Weaver. Into the corner again. This three is still off the mark. Raharides comes up with it. Parrish turns it over. 15 seconds to go in the quarter. We got contact here. It's going to be a block against Raharides.
He was falling before he got hit right there. That was a pretty frantic 45 seconds with a lot of contact going on. And Coach Urban wanted some. They thought Sims got fouled down here, but Coach Patton wanted some calls down here. And again, we keep talking about it, letting it go.
And I'm fine with that. However, late in the game when things potentially get a little chippy.
Well, I'm fine with that as long as they stay consistent.
Consistent with it, because if you start calling it late, that affects things a little differently.
Sure.
Missing on the second free throw attempt. Stay with us after the second quarter for the halftime report, brought to you by our friends at Homeland Farm. And while we were hitting threes consistently on a regular basis, we have not seen a really good quality three in a little while, but that's how the half is going to come to an end. 38-27 in favor of the Trojans as of right now. Stay with us because we'll have the Homeland Farm halftime report coming up in just a moment. You're watching Game Night here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso is a leader in athletics apparel and equipment sales. With in-house production including screen printing, trophies, embroidery, and more, Blythe's can help you to create the perfect look. For more information, visit them online at teamblythes.com. Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso, where the athletes shop. Since 2000, Hose Connections in Hammond has been a premier leader in the hydraulics industry. Hose Connections is a one-stop shop offering quality hydraulic and pneumatic products and services. Hose Connections takes pride in not only meeting but exceeding customers' expectations. To learn all about the products and services that Hose Connections offers, visit hoseconnectionsinc.com or call 219-844-6570. Hose Connections in Hammond, proven under pressure.
Did you know?
They decorate over 210,000 cakes a year.
Did you know?
Their butcher will cut your meat your way.
Did you know?
They have trained floral designers in store.
Did you know?
They will make your wedding cake?
Did you know?
They have a variety of deli bakeable entrees.
Did you know?
Their online app has coupons and so much more. Who does that?
Strachan Van Til. Now you know.
Hi, I'm Crowell Company's Lantern Man. You never know when an accident can happen, and they're usually unpredictable. So before you make another move, make sure you and your family have reliable and affordable insurance coverage. Follow me to Crowell Agency. I'll be here late tonight to take care of all of your insurance needs. At Crowell Company's Lantern Man, I'm your insurance superhero.
Let Lantern Man illuminate your way to Crowell Agency, open till 9 p.m. for your convenience in Highland, Merrillville, and Michigan City.
From schools to stadiums, hospitals and bridges, everywhere you look, union carpenters are building Indiana. With jobs and skilled trades in high demand, there's never been a better time to start building your future. As an apprentice, you'll earn a debt-free college degree, earn while you learn, and receive great benefits like healthcare and retirement. So what are you waiting for? Visit carpenters.com to learn more. Visit carpenters.com and start building your future today.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Develop skills that will last for a lifetime with an apprenticeship with the Bricklayers and Allied Craft Workers Local 4, Indiana, Kentucky. The apprenticeship and training program is committed to developing highly skilled bricklayers, terrazzo workers, and ceramic tile setters to provide the construction industry with the best hands in the business. If you are currently working non-union and want better pay with benefits, or if you think learning a new skill with a paid apprenticeship while you earn your associate's degree is the right path for you, visit baclocal4.org/training to learn more about the apprenticeship program. Are you built to succeed?
Start or advance your career at T&B Tube Company. At T&B, employees are more than just a number. They are a valuable part of the success of T&B Tube Company and make an impact every day. Located just a short drive away from Chicago, T&B Tube Company offers benefits such as tuition reimbursement and a community-like work atmosphere. To learn more about joining the growing team at T&B Tube Company, visit tbtube.com/careers. With electrical services from Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, you can radiate the perfect amount of light and energy into your home. From rewiring and code upgrades to ceiling fans, lighting, security, and more, Economy Electric Heating and Cooling's trained electricians will make sure you can enjoy your home on full power all the time. For a free estimate on electrical work, call Economy Electric Heating and Cooling at 219-923-4441, and you can visit them on the web at 4ajobdoneright.com. That's the number 4ajobdoneright.com.
Welcome back to Game Night on the Region Sports Network. This is the Homeland Farm halftime report. Michael Brenner here along with the one and only Doug Nelson. Thankfully the only Doug. I'm just kidding. All right, we've got a great one here in DAC play. Chesterton and Merrillville. It has been nothing short of really stellar basketball so far. Are all the shots going down? No, but the tempo is great. The atmosphere is electric here at Chesterton. And, well, the fans are happy, or most of the fans are happy here because their team is winning at 38-27. Some of the road fans maybe not so happy, but still a really close game, 11 points here at the half. Certainly something that Merrillville can come back from. But, man, the pace of play has been stellar tonight. It's
been entertaining.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, there's a lot of athletic moves out there with a couple, 2 or 3 dunks and some fancy shot blocks, but a lot of things going on. And Merrillville's still in the ball game. They started out pretty cold, and Chesterton started out hot, but, they just need a good quarter to get back in the game. But, Chesterton's got some hot shooters, and you got to recognize that if you're Merrillville.
Well, it was an 11-0 run early on. It was an 11-0 lead, I should say, for Chesterton right out of the gates, and that's what the difference is so far in this one at the half. It's been Tyler Parrish to go off so far in this one. He leads everyone with 14 points. He averages 21 a game, and then you have Jeremiah Roberts from Merrillville. He's got 12, and a lot of it has to do for both of them because of the three-point basket.
Yeah, that's got to be part of Merrillville's scouting report. You can't let Parrish go off. If when we would do that, we would look at our scouting report and say we can't let their best guy beat us, right? I mean, it's whether it was in a baseball lineup or in a basketball court, you got to know where he's at, and he's doing exactly what he does. He's not surprising anybody. He's shooting the three.
I will say this. I think they have caught on to that, and they have started to do that because he really didn't have a good end to the second quarter. You know what I'm saying? He didn't score nearly as much. He scored early in the second quarter, and then we didn't see much out of him. He had one basket the entire second quarter. So they have started to shut him down a little bit. So they're starting to see what you're talking about.
You have to recognize that. And you can't let the guy that averages over 20 points a game get over 20 points a game. You know if you want an opportunity to win. So that's got to be something that Coach Patton has talked about there at halftime. All
right, we're going to step aside for just a moment. When we come back, we'll get your keys to the second half and a little shout out for someone from the Region Sports Network in just a minute. So we'll step aside for just a moment. You're watching Game Night here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso is a leader in athletics apparel and equipment sales. With in-house production including screen printing, trophies, embroidery, and more, Blythe's can help you to create the perfect look. For more information, visit them online at teamblythes.com. Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso, where the athletes shop. Since 2000, Hose Connections in Hammond has been a premier leader in the hydraulics industry. Hose Connections is a one-stop shop offering quality hydraulic and pneumatic products and services. Hose Connections takes pride in not only meeting but exceeding customers' expectations. To learn all about the products and services that Hose Connections offers, visit hoseconnectionsinc.com or call 219-844-6570. Hose Connections in Hammond, proven under pressure.
Welcome back to Game Night here in the region on the Region Sports Network. This is the Homeland Farm halftime report. 38-27 your score. All right, Doug, for Merrillville, what are you going to have to do here in this second half? We talked about closing Tyler Parrish off. They've started to do that already. What else do you want to see them do? Well,
I think you got to value the ball a little bit, value possession of the ball. Don't turn it over. Don't rush. There is no 11-point shot. It's not going to happen all at once.
Correct.
So you got to chip away, get stops and scores, and make it a four-quarter game. But you got to string stops together.
And then if you were Chesterton, what are you looking at?
Just continue to do what you're doing. You got a good inside-outside mix. Continue to try to get the ball inside to Sims and maybe get those guys fouled out from Merrillville. Like we mentioned, Kelvion Brown's already got 3. So
yeah, for sure. And as we start the second half here, we want to wish a happy birthday to the one and the only Rich Castillo. He's celebrating birthday number, I think, 30 again for the 30th time.
You want to talk about one of a kind.
Good help there from Owen Guest to close that one out. Roberts to the window. And the bucket.
Yeah, it's a good possession. They move the ball from side to side.
And that's good for confidence to build to get a nice possession and a nice bucket right out of the gate into the half. Sims with it now.
Oh, wow.
This one stripped out of his hands. They're going to say it is off of Merrillville, so it'll stay here with Chesterton.
You see Sims went right at Brown there, trying to get him that fourth foul, but he lowered his shoulder a little bit. That could have been something.
I have Sims with no fouls in the game so far, so he can be a little bit aggressive in this one early on.
I'm glad that Merrillville's back in this half-court man-to-man. Some of that trapping and half-court stuff that got him in trouble early on.
A little bit of a moving screen there. Raharides with the foul. That's his third of the game. So he'll likely be stepping off, and that's what's going to bring out Cole Snyder.
And, of course, I think it's much easier to locate Parrish and try to slow him down if you're playing a straight man-to-man.
We got a kick ball here, so it'll stay with the Pirates.
Again, continue to get good shots, get to the free throw line like they did in the first half. They got to the line quite a bit.
Give us into the corner to Roberts. There was a nice article written about Roberts in the Tribune earlier this week about his role on the team. He was a starter on the team last year. Brown was going up for big air and just lost it on his way up. Oh, that would have been something if he could have gotten that.
That's a great cut without the basketball. But again, that's a good possession. They're okay. I'll take that.
Yeah, you can live with that.
Yeah,
for
Coach
sure.
Patton was not very upset about that.
Going right to the rim is Parrish. That's where you're going to see Coach Patton start to get a little frustrated. You can't let that best player, like you were talking about, drive right in there. You'll take the 2 over the 3 at that point.
Yeah, you can't let him just drive right down the middle.
Brown off to Roberts. Roberts with the jumper from the left elbow. Snyder comes down with it, gives off to Parrish. Parrish driving in the lane again. A little step inside, now gets his own rebound and puts it back home. Tyler Parrish, 18 in this one.
Yeah, I just like he's got a scorer's mentality, doesn't he? He's going. He's got one speed and he's going forward.
Speaking of scorer's mentality, there's Roberts. I was mentioning before Brown was about to get some air, there was a nice article written in the Tribune about Roberts and his role on the Merrillville team. He was a starter last year and really had a hard time at first coming to terms with being a role player, a bench player in the summer. That they told him basically over the summer, like, hey, you're going to – I missed who was shooting that
Number
one.
3.
That was Owen Guest. But they told him he was going to be, a bench player coming off this team this year, and he had a hard time with it, but he's been key off of the bench this year. He leads the way right now with 16 points for the Pirates, but that's got to be a hard role, and I don't know how you would handle that. You have a starter the previous season, and he's a senior this year, going down and being a bench player. It's not an easy conversation to have, and he's welcomed it, and I think he's gotten into the mentality of, whatever's best for the team is best for me.
As a coach, you love that, don't you? I mean, my goodness, to be able to have that conversation is.
And you know what? For a high school student, that's not an easy mentality to have.
No.
And I applaud it so much.
Right.
Because when you're a high schooler, you think you're
that's goaltending.
That should be a goaltending. Oh my! This one blocked and goes into the stands, and things are getting pretty chippy down here at both ends now.
That was off the backboard. Got to play through it.
And we're going to have a foul here on the trip, and that's going to be against Peters here. And we're listening to Coach Patton here, and he is not happy. And you know what? I can rightfully understand.
I don't know if there was a couple guys got mixed up there or whatever. Either way, you got to stay composed and
again, and I feel like this is I say this a lot for college kids as well. We got to remember, we've seen, obviously, this week, these are human beings out there.
Yeah.
And they're going to make mistakes.
Yeah, you just got to play through it.
Yeah,
it's part of the game.
It's building the character.
Yeah.
Nice cut there as Casper trying to go, gets his own rebound, tries to put it back. Roberts comes down with it. And if you're Coach Urban, you got 2 open looks right there. One was a little bit more tougher than the other, but Merrillville moving the ball really well right now. A little floater there for Weaver, who we haven't seen much of since really that beginning part of that first quarter. That's only his 4th point of the game. And that was another guy that Coach Patton was telling me that is a guy that's been with him all 4 years since he's been a coach, and a big team guy. As Parrish goes to the window again.
Yeah, you got to find someone that can keep Parrish in front of you. That's something that we talked about a lot on the teams that we had. Make them score over you. Don't let them go around you. Back off and make them score. We know Parrish can shoot it, But I'd rather, percentage-wise, you'd rather give up a 3 than a layup. But,
I completely agree. We're going to step aside for just a moment. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Did you know?
Wow, they'll prepare fresh fish while you wait.
Did you know?
They make over 40,000 donuts from scratch every week?
Did you know?
They offer 23 different deli platters for your party.
Did you know?
They have freshly chopped fajita mix ready to cook.
Did you know?
They have the best fried chicken in the area.
Did you know?
They offer our signature curbside service 14 hours a day.
Strachan Van Til. Now you know.
4:15 left to go here in the third quarter. Chesterton on top, 47-33. We talked about the mentality of these players. They're high schoolers, obviously trying to fight through this, and this is good pressure. We talked about, you and I were talking before the game about Chesterton kind of beefing up their schedule a little bit, as a lot of teams do after they've kind of had a run with a state championship and or to a state championship in whatever respects, but kind of getting some of those better teams so that way you are prepared when you get to playing those teams down south in Indianapolis. And actually, Chesterton had a game against Brownsburg, which they played very, very close. It was I'm thinking of a different game, but they lost 56-47. Still a close game, 56-47, but that ended a long home winning streak in the regular season for the Chesterton Trojans. Give here in the corner. Williams driving through the pressure, gives up to Kennedy, who puts up a reverse layup. Again, the ball movement has been so impressive in the first bucket for Kennedy of the game.
Yeah, to go on what you're talking about, iron sharpens iron, right? You find out how good you are when you play teams better than you.
Yeah.
So when we made our schedule, we would try to get as tough as we could from around the state.
Sims coming down with that rebound, good help. To stay with it here, feet underneath, goes to the block, tries to fight his way through, loses it as he goes up. So we will have Sims going to the line. We'll see who the foul is on first. It's going to be on Kennedy. That's going to be his third. But I was saying Chesterton matched up against Brownsburg earlier this year, and they lost here on this floor. And the last time they had lost on this floor in the regular season was back on January 20th, 2017. That was 54 consecutive home wins in the regular season for the Trojans. All under Coach Urban. That's an impressive streak to have.
That's an impressive run. And he doesn't bring in, weak sisters.
No.
He's bringing in tough teams, and the Duneland Conference is always tough. So
exactly.
That's
Sims able to control this one after the missed free throw, as it was tapped around, controls it. And this is one of the things you and I, again, were talking about before the game, because we've watched, a lot of these programs over the last number of years, and a lot of pressure there as Sims trying to keep it, but he's going to knock it out of bounds. But a lot of contact down there still.
Yeah, it really was. They're allowing them to get into Sims pretty good on what they're letting them go on both ends of the floor, but there's a lot of contact down low.
And one of the things we kind of talk about Chesterton being a little bit more of a set play kind of team, but I've been really impressed with their ability to get in transition and move quickly and keep the pace that Merrillville typically has.
Yeah, they have a lot of weapons.
This one floats down for Weaver. They're going to put a little bit of pressure on here against Parrish, going to the sideline. Really good work by Weaver here. Going underneath, and Sims.
That's a bad angle to feed the post out there. And Justin wasn't totally set and in position to receive the pass, but again, Chesterton's going a little 1-3-1 half-court trap.
And sometimes you might just give different looks just to throw them off a little bit. A lot of contact in the air there. But passing out here, swing to Williams, driving inside, dishes to the corner for Weaver. He drives baseline, little floater, no good, gets his rebound, puts it back off the window. Really impressive move, Darren Weaver, he's got 6 here in the second half. Give him 8 on the evening.
That's what we talk about. We talk about a lot, Mike. When you play some kind of zone, or we're going to stay here. So, you give up a lot of second opportunities. You got to, when you're playing a 1-3-1 or a 2-3 zone or whatever, you've got to find your guy and block out. You got to go just turn around and block out. And Merrillville took advantage of that right there.
When we talk about fundamentals too, really, and I don't know if you can really get away with it in this game just because of the aggressiveness and the chippiness that we've kind of seen so far. But in a lot of ways, on a box out, the rebound should be able to fall right in front of you, and you should be able to grab it if you're the defender. I don't know if you can get away with that in this particular game just because of how handsy these guys have been and how the officials are letting them do that. So,
well, I was watching Purdue play a couple nights ago with my son, and they did that a couple times with the ball bouncing a couple times.
Yep.
In that little circle you're talking about. So it's possible, but just takes a discipline to have 5 guys blocking out every time.
Well, I know the production value, we are seeing it on display here tonight from both these teams. They average over 60 points a game. This one out of bounds.
You see they're really trying to force the ball down to Sims down low, but Merrillville's fighting. They're giving up some inches, but they're doing a good job of trying to keep him in check.
Well, one reason, like we talked about earlier at the start of the quarter, was Kelvion Brown with 3 fouls. So, yeah, you want to feed to Sims because that's where it's a battle down there.
Yeah, it's
fighting his way through. That's the fight you're looking for.
That's the one I've been talking about. Play through the contact, get the foul and the basket. Don't be satisfied just getting the foul. Get the foul and the basket, go through them, and then get to the line for one.
Well, and a lot of times I've seen a lot of players on a drive when they know they're going to be fouled or anticipate being fouled. Sometimes they just kind of lob it up there and hope that maybe it goes in, and then they get the foul call. And I've seen a lot of officials just not call it.
Right.
It kind of feels like a bailout in a lot of ways.
It usually favors the aggressor. If you're aggressive and going to the rim, they will call it. If you're fading away or, flinching a little bit, they're not going to call it.
This one on the ground. Vraharides loses it, and it's going to be picked up by Chesterton again, floated in the air. And we're going to have a foul here. And this will be against Parrish, his second of the game. But one thing to still compliment, and I know the IHSAA has been pushing this for a number of years, and really it's a mutual respect aspect as well. But Parrish helping Weaver up off the deck on that one.
Yeah.
Roberts, he's been off the mark the last couple of 3-point attempts.
I was going to say, Brown's playing with 4 fouls. That's a risky move there by Coach Patton. Right? Kelvion Brown's got 4?
I have him for 3, but I may have missed one.
I thought he had one down here on the end when.
I may have missed that one on writing it down. But Vraharides just picked up his 4th for sure.
I might be wrong, but I thought they gave it to him.
I'm going to guess you are right. I don't.
No, he's coming out now, but I don't know if he picked up his 4th.
You know me, I'm not always the best at. Kennedy going up, waited for the contact or waited for the contact to come through. It didn't actually come the first time, so when he went up, that's when the contact was coming.
Yep. He did a good job of shielding the ball from the defender and kind of stick your body out there.
Yeah,
but again, he's a big, strong kid. Again, go strong. Don't worry about the defense so much. Go through him.
Owen Guest picked up his 3rd foul. Kennedy missing on the first free throw. Stay with us after the game as we'll name the Crowell Company's Lantern Man Superhero of the game. The Crowell Companies are proud to recognize the superheroes on the basketball court. Knocks the second one down. He's got 3 points on the evening, all coming up here in this 3rd quarter. Under a minute to go here in the 3rd. Doing a little hand check in there. Williams against Parrish. Parrish fighting really hard, and they are going to call the foul. And he was letting it go for most of the drive there, and it wasn't until he lost it.
Yeah.
His first foul on Williams.
Look at him. Look at that throwing Sims around. There you go. You got to call that. Protect the guy. He had 2 hands around him.
Now I've got that for 4 on Kennedy.
Again, as I talked about earlier, you got to show your hands and body him. Use your chest, use your feet, and try to push him away from the basket a little bit. Not with your hands.
Owen Guest gets the inbound, gives out to Parrish for 3. Rattles around, does not come down. The rebound comes down to Kennedy as Roberts tries to put one home on a floater. Here comes Sims down. Weaver getting in front, putting one up. It's no good, but the foul is going to be called underneath.
Who are they going to call that on?
It's going to be against Mitchell. That is his first. So Sims goes to the line. He's 3 of 5 from the line so far tonight. Knocks down the first. Stay with us after the game as we'll name the proud Union home play of the game, brought to you by IKOR-CC. Learn more at IKORCC.com. We also have the Jody Geisha post-game show to bring you all those awards at the end of the game as well. Short on the second free throw. Coming all the way down, Williams blocks that one on top, and that might be a goaltending as well. Parrish going straight to the rack. And they want to show pressure with 8 seconds to go here in the quarter. Weaver with an open lane brings the contact, and that's where I was talking about, just kind of throwing it up in the air.
Yeah.
Didn't really attempt to go to the rim, and
right.
Weaver is still down. He wanted to just draw the contact.
Well, he did that.
Yep, and it's going to be a foul on Sims.
But just him spinning and throwing it up, I mean, he got the call. Now we hope the young man's okay. Of course,
he went down.
He went down pretty hard,
in
like
a heap.
on his hip or his back. But again, we talked about. We hope he's okay, but he went strong into the basket.
And now one of the other issues that you start to run into is I don't know if the gentleman over there is
that Dad?
It might be Dad, and he's having some words with the officials, and the officials are listening, and you do have to be careful because technically they can issue a technical on the coach or the team if fans are not being or doing what they're supposed to. 2.7 on the clock. And now Bo Patton is getting animated down there, and the officials are letting him speak his piece at the moment.
Yeah, you want to make sure your kid's okay.
For sure, but this is now a nice little timeout.
That's not the time, but that's not the time to talk to the officials. That's all I'm saying.
This is also a good opportunity for these guys to kind of catch their breath a little bit. I know we're going to have the end of the quarter in 2.7 seconds of game time. As Weaver is still down, I'm going to tell Zach here that unless can't really tell. He's kind of getting up on it on his own. Let's go ahead and take a quick little timeout here. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Start or advance your career at T&B Tube Company. At T&B, employees are more than just a number. They are a valuable part of the success of T&B Tube Company and make an impact every day. Located just a short drive away from Chicago, T&B Tube Company offers benefits such as tuition reimbursement and a community-like work atmosphere. To learn more about joining the growing team at T&B Tube Company, visit tbtube.com/careers.
All right, we welcome you back here to Game Night of the Region Sports Network. Weaver has walked off the floor under his own power. Obviously, because of recent events, we were just talking about, just you kind of hold your breath for a minute. Just you get nervous after everything that happened this week. I don't mean to speculate or say that that's with the same scenario, obviously, but you just think a little bit differently. Missing on the front end.
Something like that kind of puts things in perspective, of course. But we hope everybody can go home safely here tonight.
Yeah, he was moving gingerly, but he was moving as the quarter will come to an end. Heads up to the band over there. So we're trying to fly that one through to get a last-second bucket. All right, we'll step aside and bring you the fourth quarter of action. Chesterton on top. You're watching Game Night here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
From schools to stadiums, hospitals and bridges, everywhere you look, union carpenters are building Indiana. With jobs and skilled trades in high demand, there's never been a better time to start building your future. As an apprentice, you'll earn a debt-free college degree, earn while you learn, and receive great benefits like healthcare and retirement. So what are you waiting for? Visit carpenters.com to learn more. Visit carpenters.com and start building your future today.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Welcome back to Game Night here on the Region Sports Network. Michael Brenner here along with Doug Nelson. Zach Miller on production. Milton Johnson on camera tonight. Got the best in the business here on the Region Sports Network.
Good crew. Love it.
We had wrestling earlier today as well.
I enjoy watching that.
It is good stuff.
I'm not a wrestler back in the day?
I was not. You know, believe it or not, I was actually big into swimming.
Oh.
I wasn't one of the best swimmers, but
I
enjoy it. That's like my favorite thing to watch in the Olympics, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I'm more of a bobber, floater guy.
That'll hit the top of the backboard.
I'm buoyant with my physique here. I'm not built for speed in the water.
Well, you were mentioning you're going to be officiating a basketball game, JV style.
We'll need the oxygen.
The oxygen tank.
Yeah,
we got a treadmill out there for you.
Yeah.
In between quarters to put you on the bike.
Gonna need more than that.
Going up. Oh, what a block by Sims.
It's nice to have him inside waiting at the basket. It allows your guards to put pressure on the ball.
6'6" junior Justin Sims. Said, you're not putting that up in my house.
No.
Roberts.
He's got 3 or 4 blocks tonight, right?
Yeah, he's got quite a few.
It's a push on the ground. I like that they're attacking the basket. I think both teams are in the bonus the rest of the way, or is that 6?
They got 6 each. That's the third on Parrish. Obviously, in the fourth quarter, 3 isn't a big deal. If he picks up one early here, that becomes more of a problem.
Right.
Roberts, jumper, off the mark. Here comes Parrish in transition. He tries to get right through the defense.
That's discipline. That's not a good foul. That's not a good foul.
That's just Roberts getting right in the way.
Yeah.
And I think that's only his second foul, but that's going to be the 7th foul. So now you get a 1-and-1 situation.
Maybe a little frustration after missing a shot down here, but yeah, that one's not the smartest foul you can ask for.
8 points in the third quarter for Parrish. He had 14 in the first half. He's got 1 here in the fourth.
Tyler Parrish is a junior.
Yes.
He's going to, again, my goodness, he can shoot it.
There are a decent amount of guys, up and down this lineup that are sophomores, freshmen, juniors, handful of seniors. Sims is a junior as well.
$15-point game. Merrillville, again, we talked about, just wants to chip away, get some good possessions, maybe get to the free throw line.
Williams hands off. Mitchell in the paint going up against Sims. He jumps it home.
Good move there. One of the best ways to attack a shot blocker is to go right at him like that. That was a good job by.
And Sims is a guy who you would think that because of his size, because of where he typically plays on the floor, that he would be a guy who you might consider in foul trouble. He's only got 1 so far tonight.
Yeah. Doing a good job.
And I'm going to look here. This one to Raharides, who goes baseline, had it blocked up top by Mitchell. A lot of contact. Here goes Kennedy with a one-handed jam.
Wow. That's impressive. See if that changes the momentum here a little bit.
Oh, my. Parrish. Hands off now. Loses control a little bit as Casper gives to Guest in the corner. He drives baseline. He tries to put one up. He's fouled, and Sims comes from behind, who was already jumping. And I think what we can see Coach Patton getting frustrated here on the sideline. And I feel like he's telling Peters, you got to get over there and help, because he's coming baseline. That's you on help.
Yeah, it's pretty a physical game. This is a typical Duneland conference game, right?
Yep.
A lot of free throws, test your depth.
Guest knocks down the first one.
No easy layups, right?
No.
No easy layups.
Certainly not. Make sure you stay with us after the game, as we will have the Boilermakers Local 374 blue-collar player of the game. Learn why you learn with Boilermakers Local 374. A lot of candidates for that one, for sure. Parrish going up to the window. They actually didn't even get any window on that one. That was all net.
He was above the rim there.
Picked up his dribble. Bad spot as Kennedy.
Good timeout there by Coach Patton.
Yeah, they were having a hard time getting across that half-court line. All right, we're going to step aside for just a moment. You're watching Game Night here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Develop skills that will last for a lifetime with an apprenticeship with the Bricklayers and Allied Craft Workers Local 4, Indiana, Kentucky. The apprenticeship and training program is committed to developing highly skilled bricklayers, terrazzo workers, and ceramic tile setters to provide the construction industry with the best hands in the business. If you are currently working non-union and want better pay with benefits, or if you think learning a new skill with a paid apprenticeship while you earn your associate's degree is the right path for you, visit baclocal4.org/training to learn more about the apprenticeship program. Are you built to succeed?
5:12 left here in this one. Duneland Athletic Conference matchup between Chesterton and Merrillville.
Chesterton comes out a little zone now. Change it up a little bit.
Chesterton went to a state championship a season ago as Williams tries for a three. Merrillville made a nice run in sectional number 2, defeating Valparaiso, who was a hot favorite in that sectional.
Yeah,
can that be another Pirates team this year?
It could be.
Or are they going to be the favorites?
Talent's there. He's got to put everything together.
Raharides gives off Sims. He shoots for three. He knocks it down.
As you know, that sectional is a tough.
Merrillville moves to sectional number 1 this year.
So you got Lake Central, Munster. That's a tough sectional.
It'll be Lake Central, Hammond Central. That'll make it difficult.
Okay, that's a real
Munster,
tough section.
West Side, East Chicago, and Morton.
Wow.
Dish into the corner for three. Just off the mark. Rebound comes down to Merrillville.
No easy draw in that game, in that sectional, huh?
Well, sectional 2 is not a cakewalk either, as Kennedy is able to corral that one. Three in the corner, hit as he threw, but he does not get the foul call. And one of the players on the bench was going absolutely bananas. As speaking of going bananas, Parrish. He's going bananas. He's got over 25 in this one.
Yeah, he's kind of doing what he wants. They're not doing a real good job of taking him out of his comfort zone and moving him.
Steals that one. He's going to go up against Williams. He's going to draw that contact. No basket. And the foul is going to be on Williams, likely to be his second, if that's who they indeed give it to.
A little bit of talking going on in the court. Hope the refs see that.
Talk about sectional number 2. That's going to be Portage, Valparaiso, Hobart, Crown Point, Kankakee Valley, Lowell, and Chesterton.
Again, that's another competitive sectional. You can't sneak through that. You got to. No. That's a grind.
Well, you got to see a full throttle over at Portage last year, as the host school last year. I don't know. I did not see who the host schools were for this coming year. We're going to have a jump ball call, and you can definitely tell the frustration is growing for. I was missing. Who was shooting that free throw, Doug? Was it Casper?
Yes, it was.
So he missed the front end of the 1-and-1. I mean, you can see that both coaches are just getting very frustrated with some calls, the no calls. That
Yeah,
Roberts going baseline, going up, just too strong and going over the rim. This one on the ground. Sims picks it up, gets through the contact. Peters was able to steal.
That's what we talked about. All you ask is to be consistent.
That's 3 fouls on Peters. And now it seems like this is what we were talking about at the beginning of the game. They weren't calling a lot, so the pace was good. Now we're starting to slow things up a little bit.
Well, Merrillville's got gambling a little bit. They're in a position where they have to deny and reach a little bit and go for steals. But Coach Patton's not real happy with the level of officiating on each end of the court.
Sims knocks down the first free throw. That's what the officials are talking to the coaches. 2 for 2 this time for Sims. Williams. Weaver back in the game. Good to see him out there. Peters. Got to stay out of those corners if you're Merrillville right now. Trying to feed into the middle with Roberts, but he wasn't ready for the pass. This one just lost, and there is going to be a foul on Williams. So that is over 10 fouls in this half, so it's going to be an automatic 2 shots for every Merrillville foul this rest of the way. 2:42 left in the game. Parrish knocking down the first.
I like his game.
Yeah, it's all right.
Tyler Parrish is a scorer. He's working down here on the defensive end, but he's aggressive, like we talked about. He goes forward a lot. There's not a lot of wasted effort.
And you know what? We keep talking about the taking it to the basket. He's not afraid to meet that challenge.
No, he's been above the rim. He's been above the rim.
Williams had this one blocked up top. He was charging for it. Stopped a little bit early. So on that particular play, would you like to see him take one more step and charge a little bit harder to the rim instead of stopping a little bit short and trying to float one?
Right. The word floater I despise that shot.
Roberts really wanted that to fall down as Snyder is going to get called with a foul there. His first, team 7th.
Keep your eyes on the rim. There's a saying, put your chin on the rim. Go strong and expect contact and go through it.
That's what for this Merrillville Pirates team as well. A lot of young guys as well. Roberts here at the line. He's a senior, but still a lot of young talent as well that we're still going to get to see in the years to come for both of these programs. 2 for 2 this time.
That's what one reason why this is. They've always got consistent.
Parrish putting it down with the right hand.
2 programs with normally consistent success. They develop young people.
Weaver with the answer. Just over 2 minutes to play. Parrish again. Guys draped all around him, putting it up, and he's going to call it travel. So the walk for Parrish.
That was one of those we talked about earlier. He was kind of out of control.
He was, yeah.
So the official's not going to bail you out if you're kind of get stuck up in the air.
I do appreciate that call, because if a guy's out of control and kind of just throwing up junk, you really don't want to award that, as Peters with a big 3. To me, Peters has been very blue-collar-esque in this one. Kind of a floor general out there, not doing a whole lot in the scoring column. Sims
going through the contact. That's what I like to see.
90 seconds left as Weaver with the jump shot. I like his stroke.
I like that little intermediate game, right? A little 15-foot shot. Coach Urban's getting ready to empty his bench.
Yeah, we're about to have a line change here for Chesterton. We'll try to bring you all those as Owen Guest dishes into the corner for Schneider. And we're going to have timeout for subs here.
Yep.
Looks like Nix, Davis, Schneider. So Nathan Nix, Caden Schneider, Josh Davis. And we got a full timeout. So we're going to step aside for just a moment. You are watching Game Night here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
With electrical services from Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, you can radiate the perfect amount of light and energy into your home. From rewiring and code upgrades to ceiling fans, lighting, security, and more, Economy Electric Heating and Cooling's trained electricians will make sure you can enjoy your home on full power all the time. For a free estimate on electrical work, call Economy Electric Heating and Cooling at 219-923-4441, and you can visit them on the web at 4ajobdoneright.com. That's the number 4ajobdoneright.com.
68 seconds remain here in this opening DAC matchup for both these programs, Chesterton and Merrillville.
Real quick, Mike, I want to say hi to my family at home. They're watching, eating some pizza.
Ooh.
Watching Dad. Got some cold pizza if the dogs haven't got to it. So when I get home, I'll get that. But just want to say hi to my family. Celebrating Christmas tonight because we had to finally get a chance to get everybody together. But I'll be home soon. Save me some crust or something.
We'll let them go. We'll let them go right away when the game's over.
No,
we'll keep them too long.
I'll help clean up. I do my part.
You do. Logan Picorni is in the game and scores a bucket. The freshman.
It doesn't get any easier. Looking forward, Mike. Merrillville's got Crown Point, Munster and Portage, Harrison, Valpo coming up next.
I believe the phrase you're looking for is a gauntlet.
There's the gauntlet phrase. Chesterton's got LaPorte, Hobart, Crown Point, Lake Central coming up. So it doesn't get any easier at this time of the year.
Is there someone so far around the region that has kind of surprised you early on with their success?
Surprised me with their success? I mean, we knew Chesterton was going to be pretty good, with the loss of Grayson, but I'm surprised that they're as good as they are. I know that might be not a real familiar statement, but they're a popular statement, but I'm impressed because when you lose a guy like Grayson, like we said, that's a huge loss.
And
I know they had Parrish coming back, they had Sims coming back, but they've done a great job of filling that void.
Losing Chris Mullins was a big loss as well for Chesterton to graduation, whether you're talking about football or basketball.
Yeah. I think
Davis with a nice little step through there to get across the timeline, meets the double pressure. Body's hitting the floor now. And a timeout taken by Chesterton before any travel violation. 30.8 seconds to go, and
what about you, Mike? What do you think? Is there a shocker team so far for you?
I was a little surprised that I did see, and I know it's a good program, and it's certainly a program in development. It has been a good program for a number of years, but I was a little surprised to see Hanover as a ranked team amongst voters of the state of Indiana. They're ranked at the moment in some of the top in class. I think they're in class 4A. They're ranked. But Lake Central jumping out to the start that they've had so far, certainly impressive. They had a nice win against Munster. I was able to see that game live. That was I'm totally shocked, but it's the nice run that they had. They have like 9 wins in a row after a very close opening game as well that they very well could have won as well. Trying to think of some of our PCC schools as well. I saw Morgan Township last night. They were pretty impressive. Talking about ball movement, that team moves the ball very, very well, very disciplined in their action. So that's a team to keep an eye on, especially with the PCC tournament coming up here in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, sometimes people look down their nose at PCC schools, but if you've never been, go.
Yeah,
it's the gym's going to be full, and it's going to be a very heated rivalry.
And to look at the girls' side of basketball as well, and you look at this pretty closely. Valparaiso on the girls' side, Andrean, Lake Central.
Yeah.
Crown Point's having a pretty good year. Everybody kind of assumed in the DAC it would kind of be Lake Central, Valpo, but Crown Point holding their own as well. So that'll wrap things up here from Chesterton. They get a 74-54 win to open up conference play against the Merrillville Pirates. We'll step aside. We have the Jody Geisha post-game show coming up for you in just a moment. You're watching Game Night here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Since 2000, Hose Connections in Hammond has been a premier leader in the hydraulics industry. Hose Connections is a one-stop shop offering quality hydraulic and pneumatic products and services. Hose Connections takes pride in not only meeting but exceeding customers' expectations. To learn all about the products and services that Hose Connections offers, visit hoseconnectionsinc.com or call 219-844-6570. Hose Connections in Hammond. Proven under pressure.
Did you know?
They decorate over 210,000 cakes a year.
Did you know?
Their butcher will cut your meat your way.
Did you know?
They have trained floral designers in store.
Did you know?
They will make your wedding cake?
Did you know?
They have a variety of deli bakeable entrees.
Did you know?
Their online app has coupons and so much more. Who does that?
Strachan Van Til. Now you know.
Hi, I'm Crowell Company's Lantern Man. You never know when an accident can happen, and they're usually unpredictable. So before you make another move, make sure you and your family have reliable and affordable insurance coverage. Follow me to Crowell Agency. I'll be here late tonight to take care of all of your insurance needs. As Crowell Company's Lantern Man, I'm your insurance superhero.
Let Lantern Man illuminate your way to Crowell Agency, open till 9 p.m. for your convenience in Highland, Merrillville, and Michigan City.
From schools to stadiums, hospitals and bridges, everywhere you look, union carpenters are building Indiana. With jobs and skilled trades in high demand, there's never been a better time to start building your future. As an apprentice, you'll earn a debt-free college degree, earn while you learn, and receive great benefits like healthcare and retirement. So what are you waiting for? Visit carpenters.com to learn more. Visit carpenters.com and start building your future today.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Develop skills that will last for a lifetime with an apprenticeship with the Bricklayers and Allied Craft Workers Local 4, Indiana, Kentucky. The apprenticeship and training program is committed to developing highly skilled bricklayers, terrazzo workers, and ceramic tile setters to provide the construction industry with the best hands in the business. If you are currently working non-union and want better pay with benefits, or if you think learning a new skill with a paid apprenticeship while you earn your associate's degree is the right path for you, visit baclocal4.org/training to learn more about the apprenticeship program. Are you built to succeed?
Welcome back to Game Night here on the Region Sports Network. It's time for the Jody Geisha Real Estate Design postgame show, brought to you by Jody Geisha and Design. Keys for tonight's win. All right, well, for the Chesterton Trojans, what were some of the keys for a win tonight, Doug?
I like that their aggressiveness. They go to the rim. They got to the free throw line a lot. When Merrillville was pressing, they were attacking rather than being, a little hesitant. And that's what you do to break the trap and press. But they were aggressive all night, going forward, going to the rim with dunks and penetrate and kick out. So they're going to be a tough team to beat here this year in the Duneland, and that's what they've been doing for as long as Urban's been there. And
Merrillville is going to be that same type of team. They're scrappy, they're fast, they move the ball well.
Yep.
And they can get outside shots. They can penetrate inside. So it's going to be another team to be reckoned with. Don't let the 20-point deficit on that scoreboard be indicative of how you view either one of these teams. It's really a little bit more smash mouth than what the score indicates. Well, the 11-0 run right at the start of the game had a big factor in that.
Yeah, that Merrillville, again, they're always the wild card. They can jump up and beat a lot of teams, and they will. So, Coach Patton's still trying to piece it together, and they got in foul trouble early as well. Mm-hmm. So they had to kind of spread it out a little bit. But they're going to be fun to watch.
All right, let's go ahead and name our Crowell Companies Lantern Man superhero of the game. The Crowell Companies are proud to recognize superheroes on the basketball court.
Our peak performer of the game tonight, he had a huge night, 31 points, active on both ends of the floor. That's junior Tyler Parrish.
Yep.
He was hot. I love he's got the shooter's scorers mentality. He catches it ready to attack, and he's fun to watch play.
We talked about one-handed passes not being available, but using one hand on the next thing that we're going to talk about here is not the worst thing in the world when we talk about our next award here in just a moment. Yeah, Tyler Parrish having a really outstanding game tonight, 14 in the first half, and then finishing, unofficially I have him for 31. But, really, really impressive night for the junior. Let's take a look at our proud Union Home play of the game presented by IKOR-CC, the Indiana-Kentucky Ohio Regional Council of Carpenters.
We went with that first quarter dunk. We know we had 3 or 4 dunks of the night, a game above the rim, a lot of action. But the first quarter dunk by Tyler Parrish, the and one play, they kind of got everybody's attention in the gym. Yeah. Like, okay, we're going to it's going to be this kind of game tonight. So that was a great way to start the game, and he set the tone for the entire night.
And the defense in front of him on that dunk was what made it a little bit more of a wake-up call to everyone.
Yeah, right over him.
In the gym. And I believe it was Kennedy that was defending him. And then Kennedy had one a little bit later in the game with another one-handed jam that was pretty aggressive as well. But, certainly the Tyler Parrish one-handed stuff on the left side of the court over here was a very impressive play. All right, let's take a look at our blue-collar player of the game, brought to you by Boilermakers Local 374. Earn while you learn with Boilermakers Local 374.
We went with the senior from Merrillville, Jeremiah Roberts. He ended up with 18 points, but he had the ball a lot in his hands, and he was fighting and guarding a little bit on the chasing Parrish around on the defensive end. And he's fun to watch play on both ends of the floor, and he's the little quarterback on the court for Coach Patton.
All right, Chesterton gets the win 74-54 over the Merrillville Pirates. Thank you for tuning in to the Jody Geisha Real Estate and Design postgame show here on the Region Sports Network. Our executive producer, Chris Ramirez, coordinating producer, Nathan Laird, your broadcast crew, myself, Michael Brenner, and the great Doug Nelson, along with Zach Miller doing the game production and Milton Johnson on camera. Those guys do outstanding work all the time. Big thanks to the athletic director, Jeff Hamstra, here at Chesterton for giving us a spectacular broadcast location to be able to see all the action. And a big thanks to Coach Urban and Coach Bo Patton, the coaches for Chesterton and Merrillville, respectively, for helping us get prepped for this evening's game. And, of course, you, the viewers, on Facebook.com/RegionSports, YouTube.com/RegionSports, and, of course, RegionSports.com. Without you guys, we wouldn't be able to do what we do, so thank you very much for tuning in. We'll have more action next week as basketball conference matchups heat up, wrestling's going on. Plenty to follow here on the Region Sports Network. Again, Chesterton wins it 74-54 over Merrillville. You've been watching Game Night here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.